Hey, so what's up, guys? Another episode of the JT Lending Show. I'm here with a good friend of mine, Julian Infante, who is the broker owner of Flagship Realty, right? Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yeah, man. So I'm here with Julian today, guys. We're going to talk a lot because Julian's one of the younger guys that I know in the real estate business, who's actually tackled on marketing and social media as a whole. And we're going to kind of talk about the importance of social media, what it's done to our business, and how we kind of put it in there, especially in today's day and age, you know. So, Julian, I just want you to introduce yourself a little bit to the audience, let them know, where your background is, how long you've been doing this, what have you been doing,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the Flagship company, brand new company. So when you're starting out, this new brokerage, you're competing with the biggest, the monsters, the Sotheby's, the Compass, the Coldwell, Keller Williams, all those companies. I started out with Sotheby's, was able to be a part of that company and established brand, great brand, and learned a whole bunch from them.
Okay.
I guess what I saw is you're a part of this great brand, but I wanted to build my own and kind of have that freedom to build your own company.
And wait, how long have you been doing this?
Real estate game's been 2 years now. So I started while I was playing baseball. I was in the minor leagues playing professionally.
That's right. I can't even forget to mention that. Man, this guy played at Vanderbilt, one of the most prestigious D1 baseball programs in the nation, actually. I think you won Did you win a national championship?
We won the national championship.
Oh, bro, you got a national champ right here for college baseball and a minor league baseball player, man. So, talk about that. That's cool shit.
Yeah, so, the experiences there were second to none, and the team building things I learned, culture stuff that I think I'd want to generate and know I want to generate and implement into my companies in the future was incredible. We could go into that after, but that definitely made a huge impact. And then while I was in the minors, started the real estate job just because it was flexible, and my mom was like, "Hey, get your license." I wasn't too sure I'd be fully interested in it.
Yeah.
But it turned out going very well. I understand more so the investment side of it rather than just like the aesthetics, the lifestyle that's portrayed a lot in Miami.
So talking about investment as far as appreciation, equity, what kind of value you're getting for the neighborhood.
Exactly. It's a lot of people, and you understand it more than anyone because you're involved with the numbers more so than like us realtors. Yeah. It's a lot of the prettiness of it, the sexiness of it, which shouldn't be the case.
Exactly.
But it's the biggest investment that people will make in their lives
generally speaking,
most of the time. So I think that's what you should be primarily focused on if you're a real estate advisor, if you're a mortgage lender. It's the numbers that are the most important thing in reality. Yeah.
I agree with you, man. I got actually I want to talk about a little situation I got here. I got a young kid who has a home that he bought in Fort Myers 2 years ago, 2020. He purchased that home for, I believe, 200 and something change, like 200 something thousand, something like that. But it was low 200, way low 200, 205, I think. Well, this guy bought it in 2020. He currently owes 187, so he's only paid off 10K of his principal in the last 2 years. You know what that home appraised for recently? In Fort Myers, Florida, by the way. We're not talking about Miami.
So beginning of COVID?
Beginning of COVID, he bought it. What do you think it appraised for right now?
450.
Oh, no, that's a little bit much, but 375. But bro,
get excited for him.
This kid is a 24-year-old who just has a property, and now he has an additional almost $200,000 of that isn't his money. Mm-hmm. So guess what? Now we're in the progress of talking about getting his taking that cash out, using it to purchase a second property. So by the time he's 24, he has 2 properties set in stone. And a big thing that I want to talk about with a lot of people that would help anybody out here. Right now, rates are high. They are. Rates are high. Market shifting, but guess what? This is a buyer's market. So even if the rates are high, people are you're gonna get value quality deals right now that you weren't seeing 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. So right now I can refi cash out him, but his rate would jump from that 3% that he has all the way to almost a 7%. Yeah. And he doesn't want to do that. But again, I'm talking about a number standpoint. If that rent is still covering your mortgage payment, no matter what the interest rate, it doesn't matter. Now you have another property that's producing you income. Now if you take over the 10-year appreciation and cash flow of that, man, you're almost tripling, quadrupling your money from 1 property to 2.
Yeah, and going off of that, at the end of the day, if interest rates are 10%, if interest rates are 3%, there's always a point, yes, you'll get better deals in certain markets. Right now where we're at, most people are hesitant to do anything. So what happens when that happens? You're able to get more deals on people that have to sell, and you come in and you're like, hey, I'll make a purchase. Yeah, if interest rates are 5-6%, whatever it may be, if the numbers make sense, you still have a great opportunity to get a good investment deal. As long as you have cash flow, as long as you're, like you said, as long as your mortgage is less than what your cash flow, your return would be on rental rates, it makes sense in any single market.
It's all about where you buy.
And that's what, like you said, people get caught up in, okay, here's the current state of the economy, but you have to think about it in any market. If you're out there hustling, looking for deals are always presented to you.
Always.
There's always opportunity. You can get your best deal in the worst market. You can get your worst deal in the best market.
Absolutely, and you could take wholesale real estate investors, fix and flips, wholesale investors. These types of guys weren't traditional buyers. And dude, even during 2020 and 2021, when the sellers had the upper hand, they were still closing and making deals and just doing some crazy stuff. You know, and they don't care about interest rates because they're all getting hard money loans for 10, 12%. They're like, well, whether it goes up or goes down, we're still getting these loans at this price. So if they can do it in that market, buyers, now is your time to come in. Buyers that are not investors or really experienced investors, you can come in, purchase homes way under appraised value, even get seller concessions. Now, I don't know if you've done a home with seller concessions lately.
Not necessarily, no.
Well, have your homes been appraising or no?
Yeah, for the most part. So, man, right now it's been a little bit more lenient. But I will say, I've had some issues in the past with the appraisals, but what's going on now is owners are starting to realize it's not as crazy as it was before. And they're going to have to be more realistic with the sales price. It goes with everything. It goes with sales price, goes with rents, goes with everything. You're seeing more properties in the market. And buyers and renters are having a little bit more of a leverage when it comes to the
especially here in the Miami market. I know that, you know, right now the East Coast towards, we're talking about Florida, Broward, Fort Lauderdale, even Homestead and Keys, this market is coming down by a lot. You know, it raised up really fast, but I think the price reduction numbers in the MLS this last week were insane. I think it was something towards like 7,000 price reductions in 1 week. I saw a realtor post it, and I thought it was a very interesting piece of fact. And right now, the West Coast is actually the one with the booming real estate. Yeah, people are going to Sarasota, Destin, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, all these homes, and they're still appraising, and people are getting great deals.
Too boring for me. I'm not into that. It's a different lifestyle over there. I don't think there's anything like Miami, but I mean, a lot of people love it. Prices
are still a little bit low, so people can go over there and migrate and do that. Yeah. But yeah, man, so that's part of the, that's really cool, man. You think of the numbers, it's a very different way to think. So now let's jump into marketing right now. Let's get into that. So I'm guessing since you started your brand 2 years into real estate, which is crazy, 2 years into real estate, started your broker shop there. Now how did the implementing of marketing come into your game? Where did you learn that?
Marketing is everything. I had a close friend of mine one day when I first started out saying, hey, you should post, you have to post, follow these things, to keep the aesthetic, but also, it's more so just showing up every single day, and you're in front of people. They're the first person you think of.
Show up.
Marketing is everything. Now, I was one that was very private, didn't want to post myself on social media. Honestly, I may still be that way, but you understand, if you're strictly using social media for business, you have to be posting every single day.
Absolutely.
You're at a huge disadvantage. Quite honestly, it's ignorant if you don't do it, because it leads to leads, it leads to business. There's no other answer to that.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not a crazy turnover. Like, it's not a crazy
investment
ratio. Yeah, it's number one. It's not even an investment. It's just an investment of time. You don't have to pay to post on Instagram. You don't have to pay to post on TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever you want to do. You don't got to pay to do that. But again, when you get leads and stuff like that, it's not a crazy ratio for when you post to how many people comment. It takes time. It might take you 3 or 4 months of consistent posting to get one inquiry as to what are you doing here. But like I tell my people, I tell them, marketing and social media posts have a few reasons for them, and it's not even for leads, in my opinion. Number one, it's kind of top of mind. If you speak to somebody, and guess what, if they're seeing your stuff every single day, they're like, oh, this guy's still in the business. 2 years, 3 years later, they might be like, hey, I need a mortgage, or I need a house. Damn, Julian's still in the business. He's still going at it. Hey, my brother, let me get this. It's a credibility factor. You agree?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think so. In real estate, right, they're the established companies, there's the established agents with the huge budgets. When I first started out 2 years ago, I don't think there were many people, I didn't see it, that were really, truly, every single day posting real estate-wise. 2 years ago, absolutely not.
Not at all.
So that's where I thought, all right, I have an opportunity there. That's kind of like the new thing. People weren't doing it. Nowadays, the big groups, the big realtors, they are pouring money into even TikTok, Instagram, because people are realizing there's a huge impact on it. Again, it's not necessarily leads, but it's just staying in the minds of individuals and establishing and dominating the market. When I first started, it was like, all right, I can take some market share from these established realtors because they're not in this, they're in everything else.
Exactly.
But this is my opportunity to jump in. Now that everyone is doing it, how can you stand out in the way that you're posting that's different from the people that are dominating, that have the huge budget? Now you have to get creative and think, all right, how can I do something a little bit different, still using this, or maybe it's a completely different, maybe it's not social media, but it's adapting to understand, hey, now everyone's posting this, how can I be different?
Exactly, man. And I thought the same thing. I mean, now you've seen it in, I think one of those biggest things was COVID, where everybody's in their house. So people were like, how can I, start doing stuff? Live events were done, face-to-face networking events were done. So everything went internet-based or web-based. So now you had everybody doing podcasts. Like, we're doing one now, but bro, there's like 1,000 podcasts now. Yeah. Like Gary Vee, Nelk Boys, Logan, what is this guy's name? Logan Paul. Joe Rogan. These are the things that people do nowadays. So it's not really standing out different, but I think it creates opportunity in different ways. Like, I was just able to get you in my office for the first time, I think after a year now?
Yeah, even more.
Exactly, man. So now
this breakfast,
it gets us into something like this, where we can actually talk and kind of explore ideas and share with people, which is what I like, man. I mean, if people don't watch, they don't watch. But as long as I can get my information out there as well. Which brings us to the next point. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, dude, if you have credibility as far as posting and stuff like that, if you do this, if you talk to a client, per se, let's say you go in for a listing appointment, you're going to go at a listing appointment and whatnot. Mm-hmm. You talk to that client, be like, how do I know that you're the right person to sell my home? Okay, you can print out your MLS sheet, hey, here's all the transactions I've done. Well, they're like, they don't care, they could be leads, they could be something. So how do you know that you're credible? Well, I've been doing this for 2 years. I don't know, you sold a lot or anything like that. Well, just look at my Instagram. Look at my social media. I'm the type of person that is avidly out there, always promoting and always trying to get more stuff. So it gives them like a sense of, wow, like they actually are serious about this.
Yeah.
Not some sleazy part-time agent that just doesn't care, just wants to check.
Exactly, and there's a lot of that in Miami. That's something where I think the opportunity is in any business, in any sales. It's truly valuing and caring about your clients. It's not just, okay, I'm here for this deal, I'm here to sell you this, the numbers make no sense, but look how cool this house is, look how pretty this house is, you could throw a great party in here. And when I first started out in real estate, unfortunately, like, they were agents I was working with, they would sell the house that way, and I hated that, and you experience that a lot. Nothing against them, and I'm not saying that some people don't like that way of selling, it's just not for me. And I think long term, if you're truthful, honest, you're doing business the right way, you don't get caught up in, what everybody's posting, what everybody's selling, that's when you'll be successful over a long period of time.
I think so too, man. And I think it's a cool statistic. In the last 17% of realtors who joined in the last 2 years of will make it. Only 17% of them. That's a real life statistic. Search it up.
Yeah, I thought it'd be even less, to be honest.
It's crazy though, but they're falling out. It's like price reductions. I think it's a correction to the market, which is much needed.
Yeah.
Volume's coming down in a way. But how's your volume doing? Are you being affected or no?
So it definitely has gone down. And what I tell people is this: you're not, in times like this, it's natural. Everybody's going. Your business is going to reduce if you're in real estate, right? Now, what are you doing in order to, when the market goes back up or it's peaked, whatever, how are you using this time to then improve your market share when that time comes? During COVID, all these established agents that absolutely killed it, there's a few that come to my mind, but the reason they were so successful then is because they established a brand and a name the years prior, so that when that peak hit, they're getting 100 phone calls.
Oh yeah,
and selling $50 million properties over.
Like it was nothing.
Yeah, over
a piece of bread.
Week.
Yeah,
because they have established that.
Exactly.
But they had down markets. Those agents right now are having a down market compared to what they were making before.
I think everybody is. Man.
So it's, how do you prepare yourself for the down markets, and what are you doing? Like right now, let's say I made hypothetically 15,000 calls a day, and I end up getting 20 clients from that. And even in a terrible time, you're still generating leads, but it's the ability to just get market share,
exactly.
and referrals and doing good business.
Exactly.
And that's what leads to ultimately being successful in real estate, sales in general, any company.
Oh, absolutely. I think right now, and we posted a video about this on my Instagram last week. When markets are bad, it's a downturn in the market. This is a time for small companies like us to get our market share, get what's ours. Because a lot of realtors from those big name teams, they're gonna go over there, they're gonna gravitate over there because they're like, oh, brand stuff like that. But now they're noticing, like, if I don't put in the work's not gonna come to me.
Yeah.
So now that me and you are putting in the work, maybe back last year you were making whatever, like you said, 50 calls a day, right? Well, maybe now you gotta make 100 calls to get what your 50 calls generating.
Yeah.
But you still gotta do the work. And now let's tie this all back into marketing. If you're consistently marketing every single day on social media, whatever platform, in the down market, guess what? When the market's back up and real estate's going hot and now the algorithms are pushing all those videos over and over, guess who's coming up? The people who have done it every single day. So Julian's videos, my videos, all these videos will be up. So when people are searching the web, not even clicking advertisement, something I did for free, they're going to click on my post and be like, hey, yo, can you find it? I'm trying to get a house. Can I get a pre-approval done? Boom, right there. And for loan officers, this is a big piece of information for you here. If you can get direct clients, you know how many more realtor partners you'll get? If I came up to Julian, I got a warm lead for you, pre-approved. He wants to buy a $500,000 home. Here you go, my man. This is for you. Bro, Julian is going to have to be loyal. Well, I don't know if Julian's a good guy and Julian likes me and the transaction goes smooth. Julian's going to have to, refer me somebody in a certain way. So to kind of give you hey, thank you for that. I'm going to get a referral. The deal went smooth. What do you do when you do that? You get trust from the realtor. You get comfort with the realtor. And then the realtor knows that you got their back. You did the closing for them. They don't need to test you anymore. They're like, all right, let's go. I'm going to start sending you my clients.
Yeah. I mean, even then, it's not even so much leads. Leads for me, something I've seen, there's two different types of leads. They're genuine referral leads from clients you've worked with in the past. Those are the dream leads because you know that the conversion rate to an actual sale, it's not a sale. It's not just an individual transaction. It's another relationship that you formed from doing a good job and having trust. Those are the leads that you want, and those are leads that successful agents, successful sales individuals that are big time names, that's what they've generated over 20 years. Those big time real estate agents that you can think of, that's what they've generated.
Business. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So social media, what it does is, I think what it's done for me is it's allowed me to connect with the relationships I've made in the past and show them now I'm doing real estate. But more so, I'm a certain person that I hope they trust and they feel like is educated and understands the knowledge behind this. And they're like, okay, now he's in real estate. I will work with him just based on the person he is.
Exactly.
Cold leads, which is the other side, which are just leads that, hey, call, I'm looking for a rental, $2,500 a month, I'm looking for a house, $500,000, $1 million. Those people don't know me and don't necessarily care about you and their friendships and all that stuff. Yes, you hope those lead to future relationships and they're great too, but I much rather have that referral-based lead than the cold lead from social media. People paying for Zillow ads, people paying for realestate.com, those leads suck, just to be transparent.
Giving money, flooding it. For you to get quality Zillow leads, you at least need to be putting in $5,000 to $10,000 a month.
Exactly. It's crazy. And those leads, a lot of the time, you're wasting so much time because these people, I could go into, when I but growing up, my mom, for example, and now I tell her all the time, you were going on showings with realtors.
You're the worst.
You're the worst. If that was me, you weren't even looking for an apartment. You were just browsing. Oh, it'd be cool to go see that.
Yeah.
And if that happened to me, I'm freaking pissed off.
Yeah.
But that's what happens from those Zillow
You're like,
leads.
Mom, I love you, but if you were my mother, you're the people I hate.
Yeah, exactly.
You're the people man.
And that happens all the time. It does.
It's a tough business. People don't realize how much time we get wasted from other things. People will tell me. So it's funny. We don't have any fees here really. We don't charge any fees at my brokerage. But what we do charge is a credit report fee up front. Whether you close the deal, if you close the deal, you're gonna have to pay that fee anyways. But what we do is we charge it up front at the application. And then people complain to me, they're like, oh, why am I getting charged for credit? This is a $26 fee, by the way. And I'm like, well, I kind of want to see that you're serious about purchasing this home. And then they never do it, and they never purchase the home, and they never go with that.
Just from that fee.
Just from a $26 fee. That's so imagine. So that barrier to entry.
Smart, yeah.
It's a small commitment. That's all I'm asking for. Hey, I'm asking for a small commitment for me to give you my valuable time, which if you crack down the numbers, Julian, we spend a lot of time doing what we do. We take our gross income over the year and we divide it by truly the number of hours that we work. You know, that's what our time values. So for every hour you take away from me, you know, that's gonna be, it has to be a cost of something, because if you take away an hour from me and not serious, boom, that cuts into my production hours and money making hours. You know, so that's one of the things that I see a lot about those types of buyers.
Yeah, and that's something that you have to. I've had deals fall through that I worked on for 6 months that you think you're gonna get paid a couple $100,000. I mean, deals like big time deals, and you're excited. And I mean, when I first started, a friend of mine who was in real estate, he's like, until that check comes in, until the paper's signed,
don't count your money.
Don't count your money, never. And it's lessons that I've learned.
Hard lessons.
Hard lessons to learn that, quite honestly, it's part of the business that you just have to do a very good job of vetting your clients. Absolutely. And then it goes back to what you were saying before. If we work together and we have a smooth deal every time, it's not always going to be perfect because things always come up. But you want people that are going to be professional and smooth. You want to work with clients that are going to be professional and smooth. Yes, at the end of the day, you get opportunities with somebody that you might have to not necessarily tolerate, because I'm not into that either. There's never a reason to have to work with someone. I don't think there is. Yeah, you might make money, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to be someone's. Are
you going to sell yourself for money? Like, you're really selling your soul, the morality aspect. Yeah, no, that 100%. And people don't realize, dude, there's like a million moving pieces into one transaction.
Yeah.
There is title company, mortgage, appraisers, insurance, inspectors, realtors from both sides, actually, clients, buyers, sellers. It's crazy, man. And people, like, one of those parties, of those 10, or I don't even know if I mentioned them all, one party does something wrong, the whole transaction gets messed up. That's there. So Julian, I got a question for you here. For somebody starting out maybe not in real estate, somebody who wants to dip their feet into social media, what's the advice you give them? Give me that.
I would say, so it's a lesson. The social media, how do you use social media? This is something that I struggle with. It's something I think everybody struggles with, and it's right now, people use social media. Instagram's a black hole, TikTok's a black hole, and now people are dealing with, like, looking at, oh, this person's making so much money, look how good looking this guy is, how good looking this girl is, and you get caught up in all those things.
Look how good their video is, that it is, it's
all
perfect.
That stuff. You have to use, I think, healthy wise, for your personal health, for anyone's health, use social media as a business. And if you're using it as entertainment, be careful, because you don't want to spend an hour in a day. You shouldn't want to care, oh, this video is awkward, I don't want to post it. Yeah, you want to, again, make your business look cool, but if you're using social media as a business tool, your concern isn't so much about all those stupid aesthetic things. It's more so reaching people, providing value, posting every day.
Absolutely.
So it's using it as a tool for business and getting away from the whole, like, drama, aesthetics, beauty of it that really isn't real.
Yeah, the lifestyle, the things like that, and that's super common here in Miami.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially here in Miami. I mean, I struggle with that too. So Ashley, my content creator back there, I always mention her in all of my videos. Guys, she told me that my Instagram looked horrendous before she touched it, and before we did this, I used to make TikToks, literally made TikToks, and funny TikToks. I'm talking about 10-second ones, not Julian's where he goes to tour $10 million homes. I'm not on that level yet, but I used to make TikToks, like funny TikToks, and that's all I would post. That's just post. My Instagram feed looked like a TikTok page. And Ashley came in and she's like, no, this is terrible. She's like, I would not buy a house from you. And I was like, what the?
There's a fine line, and I think you have to understand the platforms too, and what pushes it and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, who cares?
Just do it. And that's what I told her. I told Ashley, I was like, listen, man, it might not look as good as you want it to, but not everybody has the time to invest in doing this. Not everybody has the time to invest in the black hole that I call Ashley. It's my pockets over here that I have to pay her everything.
I will say so in terms of, like, keeping it professional, and it does reflect your brand, and it does reflect the people that you want to purchase, or the people you want to work with, or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'd say there's a fine line on focusing so much on that rather than just getting content out there, out there.
You need to tread that line. Yeah.
100%. And it's hard to do that because it's takes time. It takes time and effort to. Every single post can take 30 minutes, an hour, whatever it is. But if you plan it, you do it correctly. It's more so just getting in front of people, keeping it, elegant, classy, but also maybe sometimes it's not, but you're providing good value,
Yeah, exactly. Listen, my biggest advice that I always tell people is just start. Just start. You'll figure it out. Honestly, if you don't know how to tools, you'll figure it out, because you started as a real estate agent not knowing anything. Mm-hmm. You'll figure it out, man. Like, that's how I tell everybody. Everybody's always like, but man, your videos look good, or man, you got into this point where how do you make these videos? How do you think your content? I'm like, dude, just do it. Like at some point, figure out about something you want to talk, whether it be not even business stuff, whether you want to figure out whether you want to literally be the greatest vacuum salesman or whatever, stuff like that. Dude, you can talk about vacuums all day long. You're going to find a niche. Not me. I don't know about you, but you're not going to find me. But you're going to find a niche, people like vacuums. Yeah. So I tell people that all the time. Just start, post one, post the next day, post the third day, make a schedule, and then you'll figure out the content that is catching attention.
One of the guys that's dominated the real estate market on social media, Grant Cardone, everybody's heard of him. Man. The guy's all over the place, right? And something that happened with me and I've experienced is I'd have people like, when I first, again, I never posted before except for my baseball pictures every month, one a month, right? Then I get into real estate and now I'm posting twice a week, 3 times a week, trying to get every day. So you hear friends, they're like, wow, man, what are you doing? Like, what are these videos? I don't want to, this is cringy. What are you doing? And that goes back to how are you using social media? Mm-hmm. Because Grant Cardone, he's like, I don't care. If you're not somebody who's buying from me, then unfollow me. Then it doesn't bother me. So I got caught up in I would hear these people's opinion, and at the end of the day, I was like, all right, forget you. But it's also a thought maybe it is cringy. Maybe it isn't. I shouldn't be posting every day.
Exactly.
But the reality of it is, forget those people. You're using social media for business. You know your true values. You know your knowledge on your business. Post every day. It leads to growing the business. Forget those people.
Exactly.
You don't want to be. You're providing value. You want to be with people, support you, and work with you, and that's all. That's all it is.
That's all it is. Mm-hmm. Ash, what time are we on right now?
27 minutes.
27? All right, let's wrap this up. 3 minutes, so we have a 30-minute one. All right. So, yeah, man. So, I mean, listen, that's a huge point you made. I don't even can believe we even got... Bro, we could do this for an hour, I swear.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
but, yeah, getting into that aspect, exactly. Bro, I'm still like, that was amazing, bro. It's like, forget what people say. Forget, if they're not buying from you, what does their opinion matter?
And it's not even so much buying, too, because I don't like to think of the business I'm in as, transactional buying, whatever, which ultimately that's what does lead to making money. But
everything is a transaction.
It's all relationships. It's all building strong relationships with people. And in your business, I don't like to combine family and relationships and business, but ultimately the clientele relationships, you want to create a friendship. You want to create that because it does lead to stronger, everything in life. All your life is relationships. It's that you want to work with people that you trust, that you like, you have similarities with, similar values.
That's how you sell, though. That's how you sell. You sell based on relationships and yourself. And I sell myself. I don't know. I don't sell that I do mortgages or I work with a company with really low rates. But what I sell is myself and who I am and what I can provide to you. Mm-hmm. And that's how I think social media really brings that across. If you kind of show yourself who you are on social media and what you do, you're going to create those relationships. Because in my opinion, I think that creating relationships is the best thing to be sold. And again, let's go back to Grant Cardone. He's wrote a book called Sell or Be Sold. You ever heard of it?
I have, but I haven't read it. No.
You should. It's on Audible. It's a great read, man. Yeah. Sell or Be Sold. He kind of just basically talks about life is just selling. You're selling people on everything. Ashley sold me on her marketing skills. I sold you to come over here and do a podcast. You sold me on wanting to work with you as a realtor. I have to sell you now on wanting you to work with me. You get me? Mm-hmm. So it's all about transactions and selling that point. And how do you do that? You do that through relationships, through social media, through all different types of avenues that you can do. But that's the most...
If you have 100,000 followers, if you have 10,000 followers, if you have 10 followers, as long as you're reaching one individual who's truly benefiting from it, who thinks, this is going to help me out, this is going to impact me in a better way, then you're doing something good, and that's really ultimately what it's about,
Exactly.
And it leads to making money, and it leads to all that other stuff too.
Helping people out is the best, and I think that's the best place where we can stop this, man, because if you touch one person's life, man, and you affect them in a positive way, I think that's good. And I think that's what we do with every transaction we do.
Yeah.
I think getting people, first-time home buyers into their home, investors with their first-time investment where they're going to be making money passively, helping them out, man.
Yeah.
As long as you go with a good conscience, you're just there. So yeah, guys, listen, this is Julian Infante, Flagship Realty. Brother, it's been a pleasure. I don't know if you have any closing remarks that you want to give.
Nothing. I appreciate it. It's good to be on, and we're gonna do this, I'm sure,
Love it.
a few times.
Julian's getting married soon, guys. Yeah, shout out to the wife. You're doing it in Nashville,
November
right?
5th. No, Dominican Republic.
Dominican Republic. Wow,
Yeah.
getaway wedding. This guy, wish I was like this guy, man. But yeah, so brother, it was nice having you, man. Thank you for everything, man.
Thank
Okay?
you.
All right, guys, tune into the next one.